last week we did the National Addictions Awareness Week, and we've really focused on the opposite of addiction is connection. So we brought agencies from our community that either deal with prevention, harm reduction, and treatment, but then also on campus supports that help with connecting students to different supports or resources.
Yeah.
And then we also do workshops. So last week we did have Arches come in and talk about the supervised consumption services and their wraparound services, and they also were dispelling some of the myths that is quite prevalent in our community. And then this week we had naloxone training yesterday, and then tomorrow we'll be having our chaplain on campus and we'll be talking about spirituality and mental health and how they're interconnected. Last September we received a grant from our advanced education, and with that money we were able to develop what's called a Be Well program, which is a stepped care program, where it's allowed us to contract services like hiring a trauma specialist who is also a yoga instructor. So she actually delivers yoga, trauma-sensitive yoga with psychoeducation. And we actually didn't have very good uptake this semester, but we're hopeful that next semester it will have a better uptake. And then we also have partnered with our recreational services to provide students with a 8-week series of partnering with a personal trainer so that they can build an individualized health plan that really is assessing their mental health and how fitness and nutrition can impact their mental health and their well-being. And then we contracted a online simulation that has students go through different scenarios where they're supporting another student through a mental health crisis. So for instance, psychosis or depression, anxiety, and suicide. And that's available online. Our faculty and employees also have access to a simulation where they're presented as an employee and they're supporting a student through those same type of scenarios.
When did you do that? Or is it still happening?
So it just launched the beginning of this month.
Okay.
And we have it for that contract for an entire year.
Wow. And so what have you maybe heard or seen with some people who have engaged with that?
So some of the feedback I've received regarding Cognito is that one, either it's a great refresher for the previous training that they may have taken, because we do have mental health first aid on campus. Another feedback was it's short, but it is very impactful, and it's a great development of skills and knowledge in a very short period of time. We actually are launching a program called The Inquiring Mind, and it does just that. It compares how all of our different health dimensions can be based on a continuum of health, really. So you can have poor health, or you could have good health. You can have a great mental health or poor mental health, and really within that continuum, it's impacted on the different experiences that you may have. But ultimately, if you're taught strategies, and such as goal setting, then you can have your mental health be maintained in that good mental health or physical health, right? It's all intertwined. And so we're trying to teach our students how to create those strategies, goal setting, and then also other techniques that can help them through different crises, or how to maintain that good mental health. So it's very proactive programming.
There's lots of different addictions. Can you just talk about how you address that on campus?
So for prevention or promotion, we do all of the month of November, we are promoting either low or lower risk guidelines for alcohol, cannabis, also gambling and gaming information, so passive information, but then we also do our resource fairs and workshops. And then for the more treatment side, we have a great relationship with Alberta Health Services, where if someone were to come through our doors, we would refer them on to Alberta Health Services, and through Alberta Health Services, they would gauge whether they would need treatment, and usually our students wait until either the summer break to go on to treatment is usually the case, because they just need to get through their academic year, right, and then they can usually go on to treatment.
Mm-hmm. So would you say, like, one of the maybe factors in students' mental health is, like, pressure for, like, finances? So, how does that fit into all of this? Like, how are you able to provide these resources to students without them having to pay, or do they have to, or what?
So all of the resources that I've mentioned are all for free, and it's really helped that our institution has taken our students' mental health and health a priority. So they've allotted a budget for prevention, but then also obviously our supports on campus, so our counseling and we have psychiatrists on campus and our physicians. So there's that budget. But then also with our grant that we received from Alberta Advanced Education, that's helped a lot as well. Because we absolutely are aware that finances is a stressor for our students, and we want to ensure that we alleviate any type of those stressors for them.